Good afternoon, boys and girls, and following on from yesterday's episode of what happens in 10 years of Football Manager, we looked at the players. Today we're going to be looking at the football clubs and the leagues and what they've achieved over the last 10 years since running the holiday save. So let's waste no time, let's head across to the Premier League in the UK and see what has been happening. So here we are then with the Premier League. As we can see on the screen, Man City are the title holders, so they've obviously won it last year. Let's have a look at the past winners. So Arsenal have won the league 5 times since starting the holiday save. Man United twice in 19 and 20. Tottenham, Chelsea with a win apiece, and Man City most recently winning the league. Let's have a look at how the table looked in each of those seasons. So here we've got Man City, level points with Chelsea, but 6 goals better off on goal difference, secured the win of the title. Ipswich, QPR and Brighton all relegated to the Championship. Let's have a look at the previous year before that. So Chelsea won the league by 2 points from Man City. Swansea, Middlesbrough and Norwich were relegated. Man United in 8th place. Quite a low finish for a team like Man United. The year before that, Tottenham won by 3 points. Wolves, Southampton and Burnley all relegated. Man United in 6th. Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea filling the European spots. The year before that, Arsenal won by 4 points. Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough and Hull all relegated. Man United in 3rd this year, Man City 2nd, Chelsea 4th, Tottenham 5th. Generally speaking, it's been the same pretty much every year. Year before that, 3-point win for Arsenal over Manchester United. Man City in 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Tottenham in 5th, Liverpool in 6th, Fulham, Southampton and Ipswich relegated to the Premiership. The year before that, Manchester United won the league by 5 points over Arsenal. Chelsea in 3rd spot, Man City 4th, Tottenham 5th, QPR, Norwich and Sunderland all relegated. Man United again winning it the previous season, 89 points this time, 15 points clear of the nearest rivals Chelsea. Basically, that was a very tight league that year. Man United were clear-cut and away the best team in the league. If you were a Swansea or Ipswich or Huddersfield fan, you'd feel a bit aggrieved at going down really with 30-odd points. Generally speaking, I mean, there were 11 points off Everton in 17th, but it's a bit unlucky there. It's a really tight league, as you can see. I mean, only 14 points separate 6th to 17th. Only 3 points between 17th and 10th. So, that was a really tight league that year. Arsenal, 12-point winners of the league in 18-19 over Manchester United, with Tottenham, Man City, Chelsea in 5th. Burnley, QPR and Middlesbrough faced the drop. In 17-18, Arsenal won the league by 5 points from Manchester United, Man City, Tottenham, Crystal Palace and Swansea, Sunderland and Norwich faced the drop that year. Wolverhampton survived by a point. Unlucky there, Swansea to go down with 39 points. Norwich 17 points, one of the lowest totals I think I've ever seen. They were just terrible throughout the whole season. And then obviously Arsenal won the league by a point in 2016-2017. Let's have a quick look at the FA Cup. Previous winners. So here we've got Arsenal winning 3 times, Man City twice, Chelsea twice, Tottenham twice, and Man United once in 2018-2019. Generally speaking, the top teams have dominated this competition as expected. The League Cup, let's have a look at that. EFL Cup. And again, pretty much the same aside from, Southampton and probably Liverpool. Really, they haven't been a big side in this save so far. Southampton in 2019, 2020 and Liverpool in 25-26. But generally speaking, it's been Chelsea with a couple of wins, Man United with a couple of wins, Tottenham with a couple of wins, Man City with a couple of wins, and obviously the others. So that completes the Premier League roundup. Let's now head on to the Bundesliga and see what has happened in Germany. So as we can see here from the screen in front of us, Bayern Munich have had a real stranglehold on the Bundesliga, winning 6 times out of the 10 renewals. They've followed on their impressive form. It stretches back to 2012-13 season. In a lot of those seasons, Dortmund have finished runner-up or thereabouts, as expected. There's been a win though for Wolfsburg in 24-25, Schalke in 23-24, and a couple of wins for Dortmund in 2021 and 22-23, just to mix things up a bit. But generally speaking, Bayern Munich have been much the best side, as expected, really, because they are the top team in Germany. Let's have a quick look at the points totals. So 81 points, won by 7. Wolfsburg won by 7 with 79 points. Schalke won by 5, 76 points. Dortmund 79 points, won by 7. Bayern won by 7 again with 72 points. Dortmund won but finished level points with Bayern and level goal difference. Obviously won on the basis of more goals scored. So I mean that decided that year. Then we've got in 1920, Bayern won by 4 points. Bayern won again by 14 points in 18-19 season. 7 points again in 17-18 over Leverkusen. And 16 points in 2016-17. Generally speaking there, it looks like 7 points really is the golden difference throughout the seasons that has secured victory. Let's have a quick look at the records from the league. So let's have a quick look. So see if we've got any records that have happened whilst we've been doing it. So here we go. Worst team discipline, 60 yellow cards and 9 red cards for Leverkusen in the 24-25 season. Most assists for Naby Keita for Leipzig in the 18-19 season. Highest average rating is 8.06, which was Mats Hummels in 18-19 season. 11 man of the match awards for Henrique of Leipzig in 24-25 season. And I think that's probably going to be... and then also worst discipline, 11 yellow cards and 4 red cards for Daniel Freudl of Hamburger in 23-24. So that completes the Bundesliga. Now let's go and have a look at the Ligue 1 in France and see what happened there. So we're just about to click on Ligue 1 here. So Ligue 1, as we can see from the screen, title holders Paris Saint-Germain, or PSG for short. Let's have a look at the past winners. And similar to the German league, PSG have pretty much dominated the French league with their abundance of finances. They have won every title except the 22-23 title, which was won by AS Monaco, and Monaco have finished second in almost every season except 23 and 24, where Bordeaux finished second. Kind of expected that really. PSG, as you've seen in the players video and also the bits I posted on Twitter this morning, have got some of the nicest regens in the game, and they look a really strong and hard squad to break down. Let's have a quick look at how the title looked each year. So they've won by 8 points in 25-26. They won by 12 points in 24-25. 10 points in 23-24. They lost by 2 points when Monaco won in 22-23. won by 15 points in 21-22, 13 points, first triple digit total I've seen there on this video, so that's 103 points, 13 points clear of Monaco in second, who in turn were 23 points clear of Nice in third. In the 19-20 season, they won by 5 points from Monaco, who again were just miles clear of Lyon. In the 18-19 season, they won by 14 points, Monaco second, 10 points clear of Marseille. And then in the 17-18 season, they won by 19 points over Monaco again. And in the opening season, they won by 12 points over Monaco, who in turn were 18 points clear of Toulouse. So, generally speaking, they have been a massive side in this game. I'm gonna hand select a few clubs after we've gone through the leagues to have a look at. PSG will be one of them, as will Arsenal and Bayern for obvious reasons. So let's now head across to the Portuguese League, the Primeira Liga, and see what happened there. So we're on the Primeira Liga in the Portuguese League. As you can see, the title holders are currently Braga. Let's have a look at the past winners, and Braga won it in 25-26, and then Porto won in 24-25, 23-24, Benfica in 22-23, Sporting Lisbon in 21-22, Porto again in 2021, Benfica then won it in 19-20, 17-18 and 16-17, with Sporting in between that in 2018-19. In total, that is 4 wins for Benfica, 2 for Sporting, 3 for Porto and 1 for Braga. Kind of what you'd expect really from the Portuguese leagues. Let's have a quick look at the totals for each season. So 1 point separated first and second in the most recent season. Porto then won by 6 points in the penultimate season. Porto won by 9 points the season prior to that. 2 points separated first and second in the 22-23 season. 4 points separated Lisbon and Benfica in 21-22. 1 point only between Porto and Benfica in 2021. That was a tight year at the top. Then also in 1920, Benfica won the league with a 5 point difference over Sporting this time. In 2018-19, Sporting Lisbon won by 1 point from Benfica. And Benfica won by 10 points in the 17-18 season over Sporting and Porto. And then in the 16-17 season, a 6 point gap between Benfica and Sporting was enough to see Benfica lift the title. And yeah, generally no surprises there at all really. Let's have a quick look at what teams relegated. Nothing really stands out. Moreirense gone down a couple of times, as have Boavista went down there. I suppose that's kind of a bit of a surprise perhaps. I'm not really up to date with the Portuguese football anymore. Boavista down again. So that completes the Portuguese. Let's now head across to the what should we do now? Shall we go for the Dutch League? Let's go to the Dutch League for the next bit. So we're on the Dutch League here, and we can see that Ajax are the most recent winners of the league. Let's have a look back at the past winners, and it's fairly obvious to say that aside from a win in 16-17 by PSV, this has been shared majoritarily between Ajax and Feyenoord, who had a really good spell between the 19-20 and the 21-22 season, winning 3 titles in a row. But Ajax have won a total of 5 titles. 3 have gone to Feyenoord, 1 to Heerenveen and 1 to PSV in the last 10 seasons. And maybe Eindhoven are having a little bit of a resurgence of late. They've finished second a couple of times, they've finished third a couple of times, so they're thereabouts during the season. So let's have a quick look. So in the last season, Ajax won the league on goal difference, finishing level points with PSV. And the season before that, they won by 4 points over Heerenveen. 6 points for Heerenveen over Feyenoord in the 23-24 season. Ajax won by 4 points over Feyenoord. 2 points in the 21-22 season. 6 points in the 2021 season. 4 points in the 19-20 season. Level points, but ahead on goal difference in the 18-19 season. 5 points in the 17-18 season over Feyenoord. And PSV won the league in 16-17 by 4 points over Feyenoord and Ajax in third. And that completes the Dutch league roundup. Now let's move on to the... What should we go for now? Should we try the Belgian league? Let's go to I think it's the Pro Jupiler League. So here is the Jupiler Pro League, and Genk have won the most recent renewal of this league. Having a look at the previous winners, and we've got Genk in here with 5 wins in the league, Anderlecht 3 wins, which came in the sequence between the 18-19 and the 20-21 season. A couple of wins in there also for Standard Liège to complete the 10 season round. I don't think we really need to go into too much more detail of the Belgian league really. Anderlecht 29 wins in a season, most wins in a season for the 2021 season. 44,000 highest attendance in the 2025 season for Genk. And that will complete that. Now let's go and have a look at something a little bit different. Let's go and have a look at the Polish league. So we've moved across to the Lotto Ekstraklasa, I think that's how you pronounce it, and we can see from the title here that Lech Poznan are the most recent title holders. Let's have a look at the past history of the league, and it's quickly apparent that Liga Warsaw have had a real stranglehold on this league. A couple of wins in there for Lech Poznan in the 17-18 and the 25-26 season, and a lot of second places to Liga Warsaw in from 19-20 to 24-25. But Liga Warsaw, kind of as expected, because they are one of the biggest teams in Poland, obviously. I've had a real stranglehold on the title. So let's leave that one there for now. I don't think we need to go into much more detail with that. Let's go and have a look over at the Danish league. Let's see what's gone on there. So we're now on to the Danish Superliga. And we can see that the most recent title holders were FC... Probably shouldn't have done this one really. Midtjylland, or however you spell that. To be honest, I've absolutely no idea. Let's have a look at the past winners quickly. And FC Copenhagen have absolutely bossed it here, winning 9 of the last 10 leagues and finishing runner-up in the 25-26 season. A lot of third places for AAB in there also. Aalborg. But generally speaking, Copenhagen have really had the advantage here. Let's have a quick look at that season. And they finished level points with Midtjylland, or whatever you want to call them. I'm sorry for any Danish people out there that are watching this video, but I've absolutely no idea how to pronounce that. So yeah, so they won the league last year. So that covers that. Let's go and have a look. Should we have a look at the... Where should we go next? Shall we go to the... Let's go and have a look at the Brazilian League. Let's see what's gone on there. So here we go. We've got the Brazilian League in front of us, and Cruzeiro won the league last season. And the past winners here, there's been a real good run for Santos, who've won 6 of the last 10 renewals of the league. Cruzeiro won the league in 2025, as I've just said. Flamengo in 2018, Palmeiras in 2017, and Atletico Paranaense in 2016. A lot of second places in there for Flamengo, and generally speaking, I think that is all we need to know really about the Brazilian league. Let's now have a look at the Scottish League, and let's see if Rangers or Celtic are doing anything there, or is there another Scottish team perhaps that have now took their stranglehold away and are bossing Scottish football. I don't know myself, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise. So let's go across and have a look at the Scottish leagues. So here we are then, and the most recent title holders in the Scottish Premiership is Celtic. Let's see what the rest of the history has for us. And generally speaking, Celtic has bossed this league really. 8 wins from the last 10 renewals, a win for Rangers in 24-25 and a few runner-up spots, and Aberdeen won in 2019-2020 with Celtic finishing the runner-up spots. But generally speaking, Celtic have bossed the Scottish football kind of as expected really. I kind of wondered if the likes of Hearts or Hibernian or Aberdeen might have pressed on, and Dundee for United for example, but it hasn't happened. Celtic are still the kings of Scottish football. Now let's go and have a look at the rest of what other leagues have we got to look at. Let's go and have a look at the Serie A in Italy and see what happened. So in Serie A, we've got Napoli, the most recent winners of the title. The past winners, as we can see here, are Juventus with 3 wins, Napoli with 3 wins, AC Milan with 3 wins, and Roma with a win in 24-25. Let's have a quick look at the points totals for the Italian league. So 2 points was enough there for Napoli to win. 5 points for Roma when they beat Napoli, 6 points for Milan, finishing ahead of Juventus. Napoli 2 points ahead of Juventus there. Milan 3 points clear of Juventus in 21-22. Juventus 10 clear of Milan in 2021. Napoli 2 points clear of Juventus in 19-20. Juventus 4 clear in 18-19. Milan 2 points clear in 17-18. And Juventus massively clear by 22 points in the opening season. Obviously gets a lot tougher for them after that. But yep, that completes Serie A. Let's have a look at the next league on the list, which is going to be, obviously it's going to be La Liga in Spain. As we can see from the screen again, Atletico Madrid, as we know them, won the league last season. Let's see how the league has fared in the last 10 years. And it's been shared really between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona with 4 wins, Atletico with 5 wins, and a win for Real Madrid, who have finished a combined spots of runners-up and 3rd in the league. But it's basically been Barcelona and Atletico Madrid fighting this one out. The top 3 teams seemingly clear of everything else. Not a single other team in the top 3 in the 10 seasons. You'd come to expect that really. So let's have a quick look at the points totals, and 1 point separated the two in the most recent season. 6 points in 24-25, 2 points in 23-24, level points but separated on goal difference in 22-23, 8 points in 21-22, 13 points in 2021, level points again in 19-20, 1 point in 18-19, 8 points in 17-18, and 9 points in 16-17. That completes the La Liga. Let's head across and look at the Swedish leagues briefly. So here we've got the Allsvenskan League in Sweden, and the most recent title holders are IFK Norrköping. And generally speaking, it has been Malmo who have bossed this division. They've won it 9 out of the last 10 times. However, last season was a bad season for them. Let's see what happened there. They were finishing in 6th, losing the league title for the first time in 9 years. Must have been a terrible season for them last year. Massively below par. So again, I think that completes the leagues really that we want to look at today. Let's go and have a look at the Champions League and the Europa League and also the national competitions, the World Cup and the Euros, what's happened. So first of all, let's have a look at the Champions League. So it comes as no surprise here really, with FC Barcelona, the most recent title holders of the UEFA Champions League. Let's go into the history and look at the past winners, and it's already apparent that the last 2 years FC Barcelona bossed the competition. 3 wins for Man City, which is a bit of a surprise. Real Madrid with just 1 win. PSG with just 1 win. That is surprising considering how well they've done in Ligue 1. Monaco with a win in 22-23 and Man United with a win in 21-22. Do you know, looking at what I'd seen, I thought perhaps that PSG would have done a bit better than this really. Arsenal with a win there in 16-17 and a runner-up position in another 3 seasons. Arsenal have done really well on this save actually. So yeah, that is the Champions League, guys. Now we're going to have a look at the Europa League. This time we're on the Europa League, and it is Roma, the most recent title holders of the Europa League. West Ham have won it twice. Sevilla completed a 4-timer in 16-17. AS Monaco won it in 17-18, a couple of wins for Spurs in 18-19 and 22-23, a win for Wolfsburg in 2021, Liverpool in 21-22 and AC Milan in 23-24. Yeah, as I said, a couple of wins for West Ham, Roma most recently, a couple of runner-up spots for Tottenham as well, but you know, no real surprises in there perhaps. Aside from maybe West Ham, I don't know really. They are one of the richest clubs on the game. So now let's head across and have a look at the international competition, starting with the World Cup. And it's already a bit of a surprise actually that the title holders are in fact Serbia, who won the 2026 World Cup, beating Japan in the final 2-1. That is a bit of a surprise first of all. France won in 2022. Beating Spain in the final, Ivory Coast in third, and in 2018 Germany got the better of France with Croatia finishing in third. Yeah, a bit of a surprise that 2026 game. Let's have a quick see if we can load this up for us quickly. So yeah, I mean, Serbia didn't have the bulk of possession. Japan had a lot of shots on target, but it must have been a good performance by our Bournemouth man, Predrag Rajkovic, who plays for us in the other save that I've got going on the channel. But yeah, Serbia looks strong. Poor performance, I guess, by Japan on the day, but to win a World Cup final with Serbia, I'm not sure how I stand with that really. They are a good team, obviously, and Japan get into the final, but it's a few teams obviously didn't perform there. Let's have a look at the third place playoff. Portugal beat Spain on penalties. The semi-final, Serbia beat Spain 2-1. Japan beat Portugal 3-1. Quarter-finals, Serbia beat Romania 4-0. Portugal beat France 2-0. Japan won in extra time with a 5-4 win over Holland. And Spain beat Germany 4-2. So now let's go and have a look at the Euros. And I've got a bit of good news for this. And to all adoring England fans out there in the world, England are the title holders. They won the Euros in 2024 with a 4-0 thrashing of Bulgaria in the final. How Bulgaria got to the final, pardon me, is anyone's guess. Portugal won in 2020 and 2016. Obviously 2016 was before the game came out, so they followed that up in 2020 with a win. But England, for the first time since 1966, have actually won some silverware. It's a great time for English football. Will they go on to retain the competition? And what will they do in the next World Cup? Can they do anything there perhaps? It's going to be the Euros next, I think. Yeah, it's going to be the Euros next, so they didn't do anything in the World Cup. But, you know, could the Euros be their competition? We'll have to wait and see with that one. I'll cover that in the next episode, I think. But for now, I think that's pretty much concludes everything for the clubs. Let's have a quick look at a few of the world's stats while we're here. So let's have a look at the world. let's have a look at the finances. And as we can see from this graph, Arsenal are the richest club in the world with a £1.8 billion finance estimated value. West Ham sits second with 1.56 billion, Tottenham in third with 1.42 billion, Man United fourth, Liverpool fifth, and then PSG in sixth. But there's a lot of English clubs in there with a lot of high value to them. West Ham have been taken over by a tycoon. I did look at that. But yeah, I mean, it looks good for English football moving forward. There's a few German teams in there, as you'd expect. Bayern, Dortmund. Dortmund are worth more than Bayern. Dortmund are 843 million to Bayern's 760. Bordeaux, 809 million. That's quite a lot for the likes of Bordeaux. So yeah, that's the value. Let's have a quick look, see if we can pull up award winners. Who can we get? So, past winners of the Footballer of the Year. Not coming up, I don't think. World Player of the Year. Here we go. So, we've got here Messi won it from 16, 17, 18, 19. Bernardo Silva in 2020. Dybala in 2021, Eden Hazard in 2022, Federico in 23, Bernardo Silva wins again in 2024, and Alejandro Escobar is the most recent winner of the World Player of the Year. World Team of the Year, let's have a look at the most recent World Team of the Year, and it was Geronimo Rulli in goal for Man City, who started off his career with Real Estudiantes. In the save, he'd have been with Real Sociedad. I think, yeah, he would have been. Then he went to Man City. Then he went back to Sociedad. Then to Juventus for a season, and back to Man City for 41.5 million. Marquinhos as defensive right centre back. PSG, no more to be said there. Daniel Rugani in the defensive role for Arsenal. Dario Jerez for Atletico Madrid, first regen on the World Team of the Year. David Alaba, Bayern left back. Obviously, we all know who David Alaba is. Paul Pogba for Man United again. Quality player, 33 years of old now. Alejandro Escobar, the World Player of the Year, plays for Man City. Look at those brilliant stats. He's a real force, 28 years of age. Eden Hazard, still in there. He's in most World Team of the Years, to be honest. 35 years old, still got brilliant stats. Still ripping it up for Chelsea in the Premier League. Bernardo Silva, another great player here, playing for Monaco. Really good stats. Vitaly Voronov for West Ham, a Russian regen, with really good strong stats. And then up front on his own is Federico, who just looks the absolute nuts for PSG. He's got really good stats in all the positions that count, and he's got 36 goals in 45 games. And I think really that's about it, to be honest, for this episode. Dybala's in there again. Sergio Bortella, who we've seen in the players part. Florian Bortell. Florian Bortell's got really nice stats. He's an Austrian, 26-year-old. Really good stats there. 66 international goals in 84 appearances. A real menace in front of goal. So again, thank you for joining me on this little mini series I'm running alongside. If you've got anything you'd like to see, if you'd like to see any clubs or competitions in particular that perhaps I haven't covered, or if you'd like to see the transfer dealings or whatever, then do let me know in the comments section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Hopefully more people will get to see it if the likes increase. And also, if you're not a regular subscriber to the channel and you've just come upon it, please hit the subscribe button, and that'll give you every chance of seeing more content when I put it out. Hopefully there's going to be more of it coming now I've got the new computer sorted. Again, until next time, Thank you for watching and take care, everyone.